His 10th season as Perry's pilot, coming in with a record of 51-32. Perry beating Cleveland Collinwood 41-0 and Worcester 35-3 for losing to North Canton Hoover a week ago 21-0. The Trojans beating Canton Central Catholic 13-0, losing here in 2 overtimes to New Philadelphia 27-21, bouncing back to beat Canton South a week ago 19-8.
Maybe we have, but I don't recall ever seeing Perry in all white. Usually they have black pants, don't they, that go with these white uniforms?
See if that's a factor in this game. Just throw that one in there.
Bong, let me help myself up.
Right. Of course, they're on the road here at Fawcett Stadium, and the Trojans in the gold pants and the blue uniforms with the gold numerals and blue helmets.
Andy Boland to kick off.
Andy Boland, number 35, will do the kicking off. Maurice Scuggs, number 14, is the deep back. And Suggs in the middle.
Back to receive, Maurice Suggs.
And we're set to go here. Sean Moore is also among those deep for the Trojans. Sean Ashbury, number 20, is to the near side. This is a short kick. This is Edmondson, number 12, one of the up men. And Timken's going to have good field position at their own 32-yard line. Among those in on the tackle for the Panthers, Doug Lautenschlager, number 89.
Short kick, good field position for Timken, as Scott says. They'll set up 1st and 10 at their own 33.
Take a look at the Trojans offensively. Steve Lloyd at center, Gary Gamble, Brian Hindeman at the guards, Jamie Randall, A.J. Herndon at the tackles, Troy Moore, number 83, the tight end. Starting wide receivers, Sean Moore and Victor Smith. We'll also see Shante Edmondson and Maurice Suggs. Stafford Brown, number 10, is the quarterback, and the strength of this team, the running game. Fullback Brent Hogan, number 23. Halfback Adrian Burt, number 25. Full house backfield. And the give is to Burt, going over the right side. And he'll gain, let's call it about 3 to 4 yards. And let's set Perry defensively for you. Jim Fisk, Mike Hall, Brent DeRoy, and David Good up front. Linebackers, Mike Rohr had a big game a week ago against Hoover, along with Eric Johnson and Tim Rollins. In the secondary, John Shimmick, Devon Scott, Gary Pursuti, and Brock Herring.
Ooh, full house.
Timken coming out. And there's a fumble on the snap. Brown picks it up, get a yard or 2 on the play.
2 straight plays, they've had confusion. They didn't get the last man on the field to run the first play until just before the snap. Victor Smith joined the huddle just at the line of scrimmage, and that time they just failed to execute the exchange. Victor Smith. Nothing really to talk about. Just missed the exchange on the snap to the quarterback. Timken fortunate not to turn the ball over after 2 plays here.
In the very tight formation, double tight end set, full house in the backfield. Trying to get the ball outside. Good blocking at the line of attack, and a first down for Adrian Burt. They'll mark it right up near the 45-yard line.
And an ankle tackle prevents about a 60-yard jaunt that time. Big hole as he cut through the line.
1st and 10, Trojans!
And a 6 for Burt.
Looks like it's strung out, and then all of a sudden he cuts through a nice seam. Now he's open, and there's the tackle that saved it all.
And the block on that play by the fullback. We talked about Brent Hogan and Keith Wakefield on our midweek coaches show, telling us he was impressed with Hogan both as a runner and as a blocker, and a good example there. Again, this is Burt. He's been the workhorse. Nothing doing, though. Mike Hull in on the stop, and joining him, Jim Neal from his defensive end position.
Interesting to talk to Lonnie Burt before the ball game. He said they just have to eliminate the little things that are killing them, the drop balls, the fumbles, and the penalties all at the wrong time. Of course, you never have a good time for a fumble or penalty, but it seems like they just have a penchant for doing it at absolutely the worst possible moment.
Yeah, both teams have been hit by the turnover bug here during the first 3 weeks of the season, and it's both cost them in their only losses, Timken to New Philadelphia and Perry last week to Hoover. 9.5 minutes to go, just underway here. Timken first down at their own 45. Again, it's Burt. Got outside of one man, broke a tackle with Pursuti, and then gang tackled by Perry. And he'll get a gain of about 2.
Tackle in there by Pursuti.
Saw a little bit of the speed that time by the tailback. Just no place to turn it up.
Burt has been the workhorse. 4 carries now for 16 yards.
3rd and 7.
Beautiful night tonight.
This is more like it in terms of football weather. Smith and Edmondson both to the short side or far side of the field. Two running backs, Hogan and Bird, are split. Stafford Brown may be forced to put it up for the first time. No. Quick hitter, and they'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Hogan on the carry as they try to cross up the Panthers.
Tough call here, Lonnie. Before talking to the coaches, now they decide to send the punting team in. Hand off to the first man, and again, nearly through, just knocked off balance. So Timken close to popping two long runs early in the ball game. We'll have to turn it over after about a 15-yard drive, the opening kickoff.
Maurice Suggs to punt it away from about his own 40. Gary Pursuti standing back at his own 18. Low snap. Short, high kick. And there'll be no chance for a return. It'll go out of bounds. They're going to mark it at about the 29, maybe the 30-yard line. And from there, the Panthers will have the ball for the first time.
Goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Set up the Perry offense for you. Mike Black at center, Tony Carr, Jim Neal at the guards, Ray Harris, Jason Wise the tackles, Mike Rohr the tight end. Devon Scott scheduled to open at end. We'll also see Bob Leeper and Jason Tucker. Might even see Brock Herring at wide receiver. Leeper actually will be the starter now, with Pursuti on a wing, and the other running backs we talked about in the pregame show, Ulick Patterson and the man in motion, Bill Reynolds. Doherty at quarterback, quick hitter up the middle to Patterson, and good first down yardage. He'll get between 8 and 9 on the play.
Perry lines it up and brings it right at you.
Picked up about 8 yards.
Don't do a lot of fancy things on offense. They just try to do what they do as well as they can. Straight ahead power. The big back is loose. 205. I'll show him 204. He lost a pound. Scott didn't.
The weight choke's coming fast and furious. Reynolds for the first down and then some at midfield. To the 45, to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers by Bill Reynolds. And that will go for 62 yards.
No flags. The 6 will count. Perry will come on to try the PAT. Again, nothing fancy. Straight up the gut. A couple of nice moves by number 33. Fake to Patterson. Give to the second man. Reynolds makes a nice move right here to get past the safety man. Now it looks like 20's going to run him down. He just slides right off the back of him.
Sean Asbury.
And to goal along the
Now what impressed me was the way Reynolds outran the quick Timken secondary on that play. Bolam will try to add the extra point out of the hold by Kirkpatrick, and the kick is good. So with 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go, Bolam now has converted 11 out of 12 on extra points, and the Panthers grab a quick 7-0 lead.
Do it now at Spitzer Chevy in North Canton. Get a brand new 91 car, truck, or van at a sensational sale price. Brand new air-conditioned 91s under $10,000. Loaded luxury sedans, surprisingly affordable. Brand new custom vans from only $15,995. Tough new Chevy trucks way below retail. Super used car and truck values in every price category. Whatever you want to spend, it's yours tomorrow at Spitzer Chevy in North Canton.
Ashland University, a private institution blending the liberal arts and sciences with professional courses, is known for its accent on the individual, a personal approach to education. Ashland offers more than 80 majors with a low student-faculty ratio, essential for educational growth. And if you want big-time athletics, Ashland University is the only school in Ohio competing in Division II athletics. Come soar with the Eagles. Call toll-free in Ohio, 1-800-882-1548.
Communication is important in sports. CCI and Ohio Bell are pleased to announce their continuing relationship as telecommunications teammates. As an authorized distributor for Ohio Bell Centrex, CCI will work with your company to provide dollar savings and expanded Centrex network features and benefits. CCI and Ohio Bell Centrex, meeting communication needs for today and tomorrow. Find us fast in the Ameritech Pages Plus Yellow Pages.
If you give them the service that you expect when you go out to eat, that's real important at Mac and Mama's, you know?
People really enjoy the food, too. and I think the service complements the food.
This might be the one time out a week that this couple gets or this family gets. And you don't know if it is or if they go out every night, but you've got to make sure it's as if this is their only night out, and you want to make it special and worth it.
As you see on the Ortho Clinic scoreboard, usually it's Canton Timken with the lightning long runs, and now Perry Panthers turn the tables, and Bill Reynolds, relatively quiet a week ago against the Hoover Vikings. He was banged up a little bit the week before against New Philly, but you see he was healthy there as he outruns the Timken secondary for his 62-yard touchdown.
And after last week, I think it was important for Perry to get off the schneid offensively. They just had a miserable night with the ball last week. Tonight, 2 plays right down the field, 62 yards, and they've got the lead.
Suggs, the deep man, standing at his own 10-yard line.
Kickoff.
And we are going to see that one go out of bounds.
Well, you might. I can't.
Yeah, something just happened to our monitor here. We'll continue along here.
Free kick action.
Out of bounds, 5-yard
Big
penalty.
Stephen home movie we got on the monitor here.
Oh, this is the Son of Ghoul life story here.
Well, looks like Vic, ladies and gentlemen, Vic Stephen.
That's right. He hit it with a hammer, and it's right back on. No problem.
Back on. So
we have a little...
Mike Tonji's just going to get some exercise.
Well, he can use it.
Steve Yoder and the fine folks of Image Video joining us here tonight for the story here, as we'll have the re-kick as the ball was kicked out of bounds by Bolam, and he'll tee it up again, this time from his own 35. So the Trojans have a chance for some good field position here.
There was a short kick on the first one, then the second kick was out of bounds. See what sidewind kick.
Oh, yeah, we got another kicker in there from the 14-yard line. Suggs up to the 30. He's got an opening there and some good field position for the Trojans. They're going to mark it out at the 42-yard line. Scott in on the stop, and he was joined there by Darrell Rosnick, 5'8", 185 senior, wearing number 64.
Nice execution by the Timken kick return unit. So they started their first drive at the 33. It's stalled around midfield. Now they're going to start at the 42. Of course, you always move it to the next. You round it off to the next yard up.
Trojans down 7-0. Again, that full house backfield look with the double tight end set. Smith and Moore in their blocking. Nothing doing, and a nice job defensively by Jim Neal, sliding in from his defensive end position to bring down the ball carrier, Burt.
Had about 8 Perry Panthers in that tackle. And I think Perry's just going to wedge them in and keep them tight until Timken shows them they can go outside and forces them out of that defense. Right now, they're stacking up between the tackles. It's going to be tough to make any yards there.
It'll be tough running against this Panthers defense. 2 outstanding linebackers in Johnson and Rohr leading the defense, and the quickness of Fisk and Hall up front, among others. Again, Burt, he's been a workhorse, but again, it's Neal pinching in, and at defensive front, Perry definitely winning the battle at the line of scrimmage so far.
Well, you got 2 tight ends in a full house backfield. You don't have anybody split. The defense is able to just squash itself up too, and then it just push against push. And right now, the Timken offensive line is not making many holes.
Now you've got Reynolds and Patterson, the starting running backs, now in there defensively because Perry thinks that Timken will be forced to put it up at 3rd and 8 with the ball on the Timken 44-yard line. And again, the wide open formation now, both wide receivers to the top of the screen, far side of the field. Stafford Brown is back, got a block by Hogan, going deep for Victor Smith.
He was actually hit twice. He was hit by Scott, and then he was hit by Herring. So he had a Perry sandwich back there. Give the referees as Ray Isla comes up to talk to the referee, and the referee is John Fink. Benny Zampino is the umpire. Jim Osborne, the line judge, or the linesman. Line judge Vince Mazzaka, and the back judge Ray Isla. Ray is on your left. And there's going to be pass interference against the Perry Panthers. Not a surprise call.
Problem in the Panthers secondary, they lost track of the football. They were watching the receiver so closely.
Well, they took turns banging them at about the 25-yard line, and that's when the ball was coming down.
Well, Brown has struggled a bit with his accuracy, but you can see he has a very strong right arm. Mark off the yardage, and he'll give the Trojans a first down in Panthers territory. Time check, just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Perry leads at 7-0 on a 62-yard run by Billy Reynolds.
Seems like a long quarter. Perry with just 2 offensive plays. We know they were quick.
Both teams keeping the ball on the ground. Suggs and Moore, the wide receivers, far side. Troy Moore, the tight end, to the near side. Burt and Hogan, the running backs, behind the quarterback, Stafford Brown. The option play, quarterback keeps it and gets it down to about the Perry 38-yard line. And again, Jim Neal, he's been active in on the stop along with Mike Rohr.
All spotted at the 38-yard line. Pick up of about 4 yards.
Quarterback fakes to the first man. Pitch man trails. Picks up a nice 4-yard gain.
Remind the folks about our player of the game. We'll pick one player from each team at the end of the broadcast, and thanks to CCI and Ohio Bell Centrics, each school will get $100 in the name of that player. And we've called Jim Neal's name quite a bit so far for the Perry defense. Stafford Brown, this is run all the way, breaks the tackle.
Be about a yard short.
Got through Billy Johnson, but Johnson got enough of him to trip him up.
All spotted at the 33-yard line.
Looks like a lot more room than it turns out to be. Nice block.
1 yard to go.
Just, again, another one of those tackles where it just knocks the feet out from under him and kills the momentum. Timken close to breaking now at least 3 long runs.
That was Eric, not Billy Johnson. Eric Johnson, number 36, one of the leaders of the Perry defense. They go for the first down and get it down at the 30-yard line with Hogan the ball carrier and Fisk on the stop.
Hogan straight up the gut.
The 30-yard line. First and 10, Trojan.
192 pounds.
One more time.
Enthusiastic PA announcer here for the Trojans. I know my friend Ralph Peterson's watching that. He's a big Timken fan.
Sean Moore comes to the near side. Victor Smith far side. Tight end Troy Moore to the near side. And this is Hogan trying to go outside, and what a great stop by Gary Pursuti from his strong safety spot. Good one-on-one tackle.
Hogan tried to stiff arm, and it just didn't go. That's a loss of about 3. Pursuti fights off the block. He just takes the ball carrier straight down. Just an all-around nice defensive play by Pursuti, number 26. Not a very big guy either. See what they list him at. 5'7", 173.
More to the near side. Edmondson in the ball game to the far side. 2nd and 13 from the 33. Burt trying to find a hole and finds it. Fisk comes up to meet him from his nose tackle position. Going to mark it down at the 26-yard line.
Nice block by A.J. Herndon. 6'4", 315 pounds. Here you see 74 top of your screen. He makes a nice block, walls 2 men off. That's what Lonnie Ford was saying. Boy, it's nice to have some guys with a little bit of beef.
And you've got Herndon for Timken. You've got Ray Harris for Perry. 2 of the biggest players we'll see on the high school scene, and both excellent offensive tackles. And now you know why teams will run that way. In the case of the Timken Trojans to the right side, where number 74 is located. Brown is back, looking for Sean Moore. Nice catch. Run out of bounds at between the 10 and the 11-yard line. So the first pass completion for the Trojans, and they're knocking on the door.
That was a nice catch. Paul was a little bit high. But Moore went up and made a real nice grab.
John Moore, 6'1", 160 senior, wearing number 1.
A little slap on the head from his quarterback, Stafford Brown. Says, maybe look good there, Mr. Moore.
Shante Edmondson, the other wide receiver. They're shuttling the plays in from Lonnie Ford with their wideouts. Edmondson far side. Moore, who just made the catch near side. Troy Moore, the tight end near side. Going with the unbalanced line. They run to the other side now. This is Hogan. He's down to the 6-yard line. Run out of bounds by Rohr and by Kilpatrick, who's in there defensively.
Mark it at about the 7-yard line.
Out of bounds by Kilpatrick and Moore.
And give them 4 solid yards.
Perry will come in with their goal line defense, including Big Ray Harris, who we talked about. Also, Patterson is in there. And also checking in Tony Card, number 72. Timken can get a first down at the Perry 1. We're down to 2.5 minutes to play here first quarter, and Timken trying to tie this game up. The toss sweep to the outside, and again, nothing doing, and again, Jim Neal in on the stop, and Neal has been the outstanding defensive player here in the first quarter.
Timken's trying to go wide, and they just can't get that corner blocked.
Ball spotted clear back at the 12-yard line.
Had a lot more success running north and south versus east and west.
Down, 12 yards
Here you
to
see
go.
the pitch. And I think the big offensive tackle was waiting for the ball carrier to make a cut that time and shove the defensive player out into the action.
So 3rd and 11 for the Trojans at the Perry 12-yard line. Exactly 2 minutes to go here first quarter. Perry leads it 7-0.
Going to air it out here again, probably to the bottom of the screen.
Sean Moore draws single coverage.
Like I said, they're going to run it.
Hogan will get down to the 10-yard line, well shy of the first down. Prasudian on the tackle. And an interesting call again for Lonnie Ford. Go for 3 or go for 6, and the way it's shaping up, looks like they're going to go for 6.
Fourth down.
Just a pitch sweep. Prasudi again fights off the blocker, makes a nice play on Hogan. And they're going to send the kicker in.
Now, just like I said, it looks like they're going to go for 6
well,
or go for 3.
Tit for tat, huh?
That's right.
And they're going to take a timeout, and they're going to get it right.
Timeout with 1:17 to go. Timken facing a 4th down call here on the Perry 10-yard line, with the Panthers leading it 7-0.
I think it's a good idea for Timken to try and come and get some points here.
We'll be back right after these words of interest.
Hi, I'm Dave Holland, General Manager of Holland, Pontiac, and Massillon. Here's some exciting news for you.
The exciting Holland Pontiac year-end closeout, including the sporty Pontiac Grand Am, performance and economy in one with $750 cash back. Year-end closeout on the Pontiac Grand Prix. Excitement like no other midsize and no better price with $1,000 cash back. Finally, the luxurious Pontiac Bonneville, unbelievably priced with $1,500 cash back.
At Holland Pontiac, there really is a difference.
Just what you want in a full-service deli. Just what you want. Fresh baked goods too. Just what you want. Some farm fresh produce. At Apple Supermarkets, we've got it for you. An apples a day makes it so easy. An apples a day, one stop and you're done. An apples a day is doing more for you. Apple Supermarkets, just what you want. Apple Supermarkets, we've got what you want.
At Fluharty's in Alliance, we have everything to build anything, from the simplest projects to decks or garage additions on your existing home. The do-it-yourselfer will find all they need. Fluharty's has been in Alliance since 1960 and offers you over 30 years of experience in quality building at competitive prices. Stop in and see. If it's anything in building materials, we have it. Ask for Ralph, Ron, or Rick. New home additions, ask for Martin or Bernie. See the Fluharty difference. Union Avenue in Alliance.
Great looks, fabulous name brands, and spectacular savings. The California sale continues at Value City. Part of $1 million buyout from one of America's most famous makers of children's fashion. Boys 4 to 7 and girls 4 to 6X separates and infant and toddler playwear like these coveralls. Not $22 to $24, only $9.99. Boys famous maker denim bib overalls. Not $29 to $31, only $17.99 and $19.99. Boys famous maker knit shirts. Not $15 to $19, only $7.99 and $8.99. The California sale continues at all Value City department stores.
Tonight's game will be tape delay broadcast on Channel 67.
And back here at Fawcett Stadium, where the Trojans have a decision to make here, whether to go for 3 or go for 6. And we'll check on the range of Gary Gamble, who's been doing the kicking for the Timken Trojans.
Well, they got the quarterback back in. Sometimes those timeouts can be mysterious, and we're going to go for it.
Go for it. Well, 0 for 3.
And it's early, folks.
That's right, so stay tuned.
That's 3 pennies in the jar.
Moore wide to the far side with Victor Smith in the slot. The running backs, Burton Hogan, are split behind Stafford Brown, who'll be looking to the end zone here. Fires the ball out, and boy, Hogan had some real estate, but they couldn't hook up. He was open at the 5. So on down, Perry holds and takes over.
Actually, there were 2 men open. Hogan was open, and beyond Hogan, Victor Smith was open. You'll see, there's Hogan, and Smith is to the left of your screen. You see him by himself.
Now the question is, was that ball tipped? Saw a Perry player put a hand up. I don't know if he got part of the football or not. Well, no matter how it happened, the Perry Panthers have dodged a bullet. They have the ball at their own 10-yard line, leading it 7-0. Time for Sudi in motion with Reynolds on the wing. They'll keep it on the ground to Patterson, who's got some real estate. Gets it up near first down territory at the 20. We take a moment here to set the Timken defense. We haven't had time because of the long touchdown run by Reynolds. Gary Gamble at middle guard, A.J. Herndon, Jamie Randall tackles, Troy Moore and Thomas Dahm the defensive ends as you watch Patterson move with the football. Inside linebackers are Adrian Bird and Brian Himmelden. And in the secondary, Sean Bird, Ken Taylor, Danny Armstead, and Marie Sugg.
Your partner has a cramp.
My partner is down and out for a moment. Reynolds, meantime, 25-yard line.
Tackle in there by Maurice.
And he's slow to get up. 33 seconds to go. Clock is stopped on the injury. That's been an unusual first quarter all the way around. My broadcast partner went down in a heap here right next to me.
With a cramp in his foot.
That should have been last week.
Yeah,
not
I know.
this week. Watch it again here. Hard to tell. Still working on Reynolds, who scored on that 62-yard touchdown run. They can ill afford to lose him. As I said, he's been banged up since the beginning of the season, though. Our score is 7-0. Timken got out of a hole, and they'll have a first down when play resumes up at their own 27-yard line. And they've been doing it tonight on the ground so far. Patterson already with 17 yards and just 2 carries. And, of course, Reynolds with 70 and 2. And the big blow there, the 62-yard touchdown run. Timken got the ball and was impressive on the ground. Good to see Reynolds up. And he'll be coming out for a play, getting greetings from the offensive line. Leeper is in at wide receiver, bringing the play in to the quarterback, Doherty, as Tucker takes a seat. So we're back into play here with 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Perry with the ball and a 7-0 lead. Hold everything.
Somebody got into the zone.
And the way the reactions are going, it looks like Timken is the guilty party.
Once you stick your snoot in the zone on high school football, you can't get out. It's just dead man's area.
Dead ball foul. Encroachment against the Trojan. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, both coaches talking about mistakes, be it penalties or fumbles or interceptions being a key in this ball game. And Panthers pick up 3 yards, second down and 5. Eric Johnson in motion again. The play that's worked all night long, a first down up to the 30, between the 37 and 38-yard lines. Call it a gain of 6 for Patterson. He's averaging about 8 yards a crack. Eric Johnson is in the backfield. Now Reynolds is back in the game, and Johnson will take a seat. Doherty hasn't had him throw a pass yet in this ball game because the Panthers have done the job on the ground behind the offensive line, which includes Mike Black at center, Carr and Neal the guards, Harrison Wise at tackle. At the end of the first quarter, the score, Perry 7, Timken nothing.
Mercy's LDRP birth suites. For more information or to schedule a tour, call 489-1329.
More about our services, call us at 478-3322. Modern Manufacturing. We package America.
When you're ready to start your hunting season, stop into Breyer's Outdoor Sports Supply for a complete line of guns and hunting accessories. From a new gun to your hunting license, or even a wide variety of rental videotapes containing the latest hunting tips. If you're into reloading your own ammunition, Breyer's has a complete line of reloading accessories including powder, primers, cases, bullets, shot, and wads. So when hunting fever takes over, remember Breyer's Outdoor Sports Supply for all of your hunting accessories. We're located just north of Alliance on Route 225.
If an automobile is a reflection of who you are, then the beautiful new Toyota Camry will say a lot for you. The 1992 Toyota Camry. We just couldn't leave well enough alone.
Come see the all-new Toyota Camry. Roomier, safer, quieter, and more powerful at your Toyota dealer now.
Yeah, it's been one of those ball games, the unexpected. We expected Timken with the big plays and Perry with the long marches. And what happens? Perry scores on a 62-yard touchdown run, and Trojans put together the ball control drive, but they wind up empty, turning the ball over on downs at the Perry 10-yard line. I guess they're going to throw, they're going to run, they're going to kick a field goal. They do just the opposite, and then just a couple minutes left, my broadcast partner takes a seat with a cramp, and temperature's about 30 degrees colder than a week ago, and all the players had leg cramp.
That's right.
It's been one of those quarters here at Fawcett Stadium.
And Timken had a touchdown over here to tie the ball game, but they couldn't connect on the big fourth down play. So the Trojans have been more dangerous throwing the football.
This time Reynolds is on the wing, and he's in motion. Pursuti and Patterson, and the big workhorse fullback, Patterson, looking to break that tackle of Herndon at the line of scrimmage and pick up 2 or 3 extra yards.
Well, you know what they're going to do? They're going to keep running this fullback, tailback tandem, and then they're going to come with the counter play. And they're going to have the whole Timken defense going one way.
Dahm and Randall in on the stop for the Timken Trojans.
There you see the sophomore starter tonight. You know, he had to be excited for the first series.
Scott Doherty, 5'10", 154 sophomore, has 1 touchdown pass. He's seen...
Is this service or what? Is this service or what?
I'll tell you.
The tray is here.
Reynolds the ball carrier.
Reynolds the ball carrier.
The Timken Trojan press box core is second to none delivering the groceries.
On the tackle.
There you see Reynolds, second man. Gets some good yardage, but then kind of hits a wall.
Pursuti had a nice block on that play. Where's the service with a smile? I want to tell you, we can get used to this.
What are you doing tomorrow night? Well, tomorrow night it'll be Phil Libertor in the crowd.
Back here at Fawcett Stadium. Fullback Patterson, nice fake by Doherty. And that'll be a first down in Timken territory.
And we'll take a look at first quarter statistics on the old television. Timken with 8 minutes and 5 to 3:55 for Perry. Of course, Perry only used 2 plays to score their first touchdown. Total yards 93 to 56, and passing 15 to nothing. I don't think you see many Perry passes tonight.
Only getting the job done on the ground with almost 100 yards in the first quarter alone, and we thank you very much for the Java. Well, it's just as we say how successful Perry's running attack is. Pursuti is stopped.
Pursuti the ball carrier.
Gamble in on the stop. He comes up favoring his right arm.
Loss of about 1 yard.
That'll be a loss, being up second down, about 11. And if you're Timken, this is what you want to get Perry into. A ball control offense has difficulty finding plays on 2nd and 3rd and 11. Nearly a late hit here. But no save.
Gamble that time with a good one-on-one tackle. Help from his friends. 2nd and 12 now at midfield.
There was the counter.
Timken was ready for it.
Big guy.
Herndon, A.J. Herndon, number 74 on the stop.
A.J. Herndon and Scott Davis both go to the same truck stop to be weighed. There you see the inside reverse counter, double handoff. Herndon grabs a hold of him and says, that's far enough.
If you keep going with the weight jokes, maybe we get another cramp. Courtesy of me stepping on your foot. Devon Scott, wide to the near side. Now we got men on both wings. Pursuti far side and Reynolds near side. Doherty, my broadcast partner, with a few zings on the waistline, and he goes over and gets 2 donuts.
One for you and one for Vic.
Yeah, right. When cows fly. Well, the Panthers with the football as we look at Lonnie Ford in his 3rd season. And as he said to me on the coach's program on Wednesday night, he said, Scott, this is my class. This is the first class. You know, when I became head coach, they were sophomores. Now they're seniors. And he feels by far this is his best team out of the 3.
He was fired up before the ball game tonight. I mean, he thought he was going to suit up.
Well, he played on this field at McKinley High School, back as Timken's head coach. The ball is tipped, well, maybe tipped by Armstead. He felt he should have the interception and went through Reynolds' hands up at the 38-yard line of the Panthers.
Perry will have to give it up. Let's take a look if it was.
4th down.
Doherty rolls out. He has to fit it over the defender now and into the hands of Reynolds. It's not tipped, but Reynolds obviously bothered by Armstead.
And that was, of course, down at the Timken 38-yard line.
Single safety back around the 15-yard line for the Trojans.
It's Mike Brewer, who kicked very well a week ago, as our player of the game in the loss to Hoover. A chance for a return as it goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
That's 26-yard line.
See what the Trojans can do as they huddle around Lonnie Ford. Be Moore and Smith, the wide receivers. Sean Moore is number 1. Troy Moore, the tight end, 83. Stafford Brown, the quarterback, wears number 10. Brent Hogan, the fullback, number 23. And Adrian Birch, the halfback, number 25.
Talk a little bit about Herndon. He's just a junior. He's got awfully good feet and good moves. And I think by the time he graduates next year, he's going to be polished up into a pretty good offensive tackle.
The quickness of Jim Fisk really upset that play and forced the quarterback to keep it and go to the outside. He'll get a yard or 2.
And he went right behind my man, Herndon. Take a look at number 74. He'll just shove the man out. Back will cut right inside. Make a couple of yards. Stafford Brown, 6 foot, 175. Senior. Fill me in on the first year at the Trojans. Where does Stafford come in from?
I believe, according to information I have, he came over from McKinley High School, along with the running back Bird. So 2 additions to the Trojans roster.
Ball's loose.
Harry says they have it, and the officials agree.
That time the blocker was knocked right back into the quarterback trying to make the handoff.
I think Rollins, the linebacker, recovered.
So a mistake and deep in Timken territory.
Just under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. We talked about the mistakes. The coaches talked about the mistakes, and now Perry with the opportunity to capitalize and take a 14-0 lead.
Play just never had a chance to get started. Now the Panthers are looking down the gun sights from the 30.
Look at the young sophomore, Doherty. His first varsity start here. He'll keep it. No, he gave it to good play, good fake. Gave it to Patterson, the fullback, and he followed right along for good measure. One thing that's been very successful, Tom, for the Panthers is good yardage on first down.
And they're getting big chunks all night long. I would think that the backs are averaging probably 8-9 yards a carry.
Let's check out Mr. Patterson. 5 carries, 34 yards, better than 6 a clip. Tucker is in, a wide receiver. Leeper is out with the play from the Perry sideline.
Tucker, one of the messenger people employed by Keith Wakefield.
Give us to Reynolds.
Reynolds, the ball carrier.
Boy, good second effort. Gets him very close to the first down. It all depends on the spot.
Back by Maurice Stuck.
And we have another player down. Let's hope it's not Reynolds, who's already been shaken up once in this game.
I think it's a first down. Here you take a look, fake to Patterson, give to Reynolds. He takes it outside after looking to see the insides blocked up.
Tony Carr among those out blocking. Again, a clock is stopped on the injury. Exactly 7 minutes to go here first half.
Looks like he got a shot in the small of the back. Might have been a helmet. That's never very comforting. Those helmets are mighty hard.
And Vic Steffen says it is indeed Reynolds. Second time he's been shaken up in this game. It's been a rough one for Bill Reynolds on the plus side for number 33. He's got that 62-yard touchdown run as we look at the Perry cheerleader showing.
They keep breaking the action as well. Look, the Long Johns tonight. Last week you couldn't find enough cool air.
See the first down marker. Panthers with the ball at the Trojans' 19-yard line.
Here's your man with all the
Dan
stats.
Greenfelder. Right? Statistician for the Panthers. He has to be a lot happier tonight than he was a week ago. They've already outdistanced their total point production.
Yeah, he didn't use much ink last week on that marker.
Yeah, Reynolds is sitting up, as you see, at least. Getting up on his feet. I'm sure Billy will sleep well tonight, no matter what the outcome is here.
First and 10 for
Leaper is in. Tucker will take a seat.
19-yard line.
Both teams sending in their plays via their wide receivers. Johnson is back in for Reynolds, and Eric goes on a wing to the far side. Pursuti on a wing near side. He's the man in motion. Keep it on the ground to the fullback. Patterson, big yardage, and again close to a first down. We'll call it a gain of 8 yards down to the 11.
But that initial thrust off the ball has been all Perry tonight. They just have taken control of the line of scrimmage. It's not that hard to run through holes this big, and you get a back that's talented like Patterson and give him a hole like that. Those defensive backs are going to sleep well tonight, too.
Suggs and Armstead, safety men in on the stop. Gamble is out of middle guard, and Sparkman is in, number 47. 2nd and 2 at the 11. This is Pursuti. First down, still on his feet, gets it down. 1st and goal at the 4. A gain of 7 for Gary Pursuti.
Out of bounds.
The Perry running attack in high gear tonight.
1st and goal, Panthers.
That's Pursuti's first carry of the night, according to Vic Steffen. Make the most of it.
1st and goal to go, marked inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. The Panthers looking to extend a 7-0 lead. 6:05 remaining in quarter number 2.
Leaper wide to the near side, but you look for Perry to keep it on the ground here. Pursuti in motion. Get to the fullback, Patterson, and he gets it down to between the 2 and 3-yard line. Hemeden and Moore off the bottom of the pile.
Tackled by Brian Hemeden.
Short gain. One of the few times tonight that there hasn't been a big hole for Patterson. Let's see, I think that was... Who'd you have with that stop there, partner? Troy Moore?
Troy Moore, 83. Brian Hemeden, 66.
There you go.
Brian, one of the co-captains, along with Brent Hogan. 2nd and goal to give to Patterson.
Patterson again, the ball carrier.
And he'll get it down to the 1-yard line. Again, Hemeden in on the stop.
Brian Hemeden, the ball carrier, tackled.
Also Randall, number 50, off the bottom of the pile.
I mean, Herndon there as well.
3rd and goal. Ball down at the 1. Clock rolls. 4:45, and the Panthers want to talk things over. 4:45 to go. Perry with the lead. And they're knocking more. 3rd and goal. The ball down at the 1-yard line. Doherty calling the timeout. He's run the show very well tonight. Hasn't been called on to pass very much because the Perry ground game now is approaching 150 yards. in just about a quarter and a half.
Well, one of the nice things in this program is they give us the assistant coaches for the Timken Trojans, and we're just going to list them out here. Kevin Henderson, Rich Wegheimer, Glenn Cummings, Mike Brown, Jeff Labb, Vic Johnson, and Fred Matthews.
That's Pursuti and Patterson in the backfield. This is Gary Pursuti, and he's in there for the touchdown.
They just went power right side. Too many men. Touchdown. Here you see Pursuti. Everybody leads the way. 2 tackles, and Patterson might as well be 3 tackles.
Well, you had Harris blocking inside, and then pulling around Tony Carr, the guard. High snap. Spot. The kick is up. And Bolam now is 2 out of 2. And for the season, he's now 12 out of 13. And the Panthers up their lead to 14-0 on the 1-yard touchdown run by Gary Pursuti.
And you can say that one had a gift wrap to it. Drive started at the 30-yard line after the Timken Trojan fumble. So as Lonnie Ford bemoaned before the ballgame, those little mistakes continue to pop up. And he says when they make them, they just can't escape. They can never make a penalty or a mistake like that and get away with it. They always end up paying big time.
Reminder to the fans, our Saturday night special. Let's see, we're going to do our all-star comedy lineup coming up new this fall on your winning team. Alan Thicke, Joanna Kern, star in Growing Pains at 6. Hogan Family follows at 6:30. Harry Anderson, Judge Harold T. Stone on Tom Cannell's favorite show, Night Court at 7. We wrap up 2 hours of laughs with Newhart at 7:30. That all on TV 67 weeknights. And I was about to mention our Saturday night special tomorrow night. We'll be back here at Fawcett Stadium, joining you on the air at 10:30. Kent McKinley against Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. Suggs on the fly at his own 23, 25, 30, 35, 40. Spin move, 45, 47-yard line. Caught from behind by Andy Wilson. Excellent return by Maurice Suggs.
Second time tonight, this kickoff return unit's done an outstanding job of finding an alley. And Suggs popped it through there and took it up almost to midfield. Here you see they're going to bring it cross court. Good blocks. Look at their nice seam, good cutback. One man to beat, that was the kicker who turned it inside.
See what the Trojans can do with 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go here, and they're down 14-0. Stafford Brown is back, and he's sacked. Brent DeRoy from one side, and David Good, number 92, from the other.
Well, they closed down on him in a hurry. Once he pulled that ball down, he didn't have a chance. Looks like he's got a little bit of time. Now watch. 2 guys like a couple of rockets, and they meet at the quarterback.
Running backs couldn't block. They had the outside blocking coverage for the Trojans, and they couldn't get the job done, and as a result, that's a loss of 8. So 2nd and 18 for Timken. 3:40 to go first half. Perry 14, Timken nothing. Brown this time has time. Fires a football, strong arm, and Moore just couldn't hold on to it. Devon Scott, Gary Pursuti on the coverage.
Put it right on the money. Moore just unable to squeeze it. Nice throw here by the quarterback. He sets up, he puts it right on the 1.
Moore will try to redeem himself. He goes wide to the far side. 3rd and 18 for the Trojans at their own 39. Blitzed by Eric Johnson. Herring is the closest to that football. Good coverage by Perry. Kilpatrick was also back in the secondary. Troy Moore, the tight end, number 83, the intended receiver. And Timken will have to give the ball up, and Perry still with plenty of time on the clock, 3.5 minutes.
Stafford Brown's going to drop back here, and he just fires a long rope. Some arm strength here. That ball sails over everybody's head. Threw it about 50 yards in the air.
Didn't seem like it put much effort either. It was just very smooth, very natural. Line drive kick by Suggs. I think that's a loose ball, and Perry covers it. Hit a Timken player in the back on the fly. Perry will come away with some good field position at their own 37-yard line. I'll be curious to see how Keith Wakefield plays it here. Up 14-0.
Well, with a young quarterback, he's got to like what he sees first half. I don't think he'd be opposed to going in 14-0. Making all his yardage up between the tackles anyway.
Pursuit in motion. Give it to fullback Patterson. I'll tell you, Doherty's doing a great job of faking that ball. One of these times he's going to keep it, and he's going to have some real estate.
I'll tell you what, you pay a price as a defensive back once in a
Take up a 5 yards.
Big number 60. Raymond Harris got to the free safety in time to flatten him. I mean, flatten him.
Well, let's check it out. Ray is 310. Free safety Suggs is 160.
Yeah. I know who I'm betting on.
Gain of 5 on the first down carry. Here's Patterson again. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down. He's been a workhorse here in the first half. Well, at halftime, we'll see the marching bands. Bank One will bring us the band person of the week.
There you see the dive. And Patterson gets it up within about 6-7 inches of a first down.
We'll have the AFL-CIO halftime scoreboard. A lot of action around the area tonight.
And some good games. I think it'll be interesting to see some of the outcomes. How about St. Thomas with Mike Kearns going up to Hoover tonight?
Well, Patterson's going to be close. I think it's going to be a little short.
I don't believe he got there. 155 in running, so if Timken was of a mind, they could spin a timeout here.
Stop for no gain.
Some fans here, some Bulldogs fans and Trojan fans on the home side of the field. Curry will not gamble here, especially leading 14-0. Speaking of gamble, it was Gary Gamble in on the stop, and he's had a strong first half defensively for the Trojans.
Clock continues to run, 1:30 and counting down towards halftime.
Mike Rohr
will take their time. Mike Rohr to kick it away. He'll field it on one hop, kick it away from his own 35. Good kick. At his own 18-yard line, Bird in a lot of trouble. Got through the first hit by Devon Scott and makes something out of nothing. 7-yard return to the 25.
Nice kick. Hunter had to field it on one short hop.
Down for the Perry Panthers, Jeff Keener, reserve offensive lineman, number 66.
Well, 1:14 to go. Time for a little action here from the Timken offense. Probably see the ball in the air a couple of times.
The strong right arm of Stafford Brown.
Stay tuned, right.
Not been able to make connections for the most part. And Stafford's stats here, 1 out of 4 so far. The sideline grab by Sean Moore.
Had a couple dropped.
Oh, boy, they got all mixed up there. He ran into his own man, Hogan, but good penetration. Everybody back there from the front wall of the Panthers, and it was Jim Fisk with the sack.
And we had linebackers coming, too. Mike Hull was there.
Timeout, Timken.
Take a look. Everybody's coming.
Second timeout.
Hit by Hogan.
Something, you know, they're shooting the gaps. That was just the 4 down linemen, Fisk and Hall and DeRoy, and I think it was Good, the 4th man in there. And it was like 4 on 6, and all 4 of them got through. See what's coming up, TC here.
He's doing a code on me tonight.
Coach's Corner. 2 shows. The Western Auto edition. I like to call the Game of the Week edition. And coming up 10:30 this Wednesday night, we'll have the coaches and players from Lake and Worcester High Schools previewing their Friday night matchup on TV 67. And then the Massillon McKinley edition brought to you by Holland Pontiac Thursday night at 10:30. Highlights of 2 great games, the Massillon Moeller and McKinley Mooney game, plus scouting reports. The Bulldogs will prepare to travel to Toledo to meet Central Catholic, and the Tigers will return home to get ready for Austintown Fitch. The Coach's Corner every Wednesday and Thursday nights at 10:30 on TV 67.
And I like the new switch with the preview edition. I think that's pretty nice. I always did like the other one, too, but just a little pizzazz for the game coming up.
Another way we can prepare, do our homework for the upcoming games. So we'll be joined by Gary Green of Worcester, and Jeff Durbin of Lake this Wednesday night. Stafford Brown trying to get outside. Jim Fisk tripped him up, and that was Eric Johnson to make sure he didn't get up again. Press box, he succeeded Vic Steffen as engineer extraordinaire on the monitor.
Vic was sent on waivers to Buffalo.
Well, he's dressed for it anyway.
That's right.
And a cool, crisp evening. Temperature now probably down around 40 degrees here.
Good sleeping weather.
After last week when the game time temperature over at Perry for the Hoover game was 88. Well, Perry got the ball to start the ball game, so they will get it here again. And we're getting ready for play here. And again, it's been a combination of the Perry ground game on offense and the Perry defense, which has shut down the usually equally potent Timken ground attack. It has really been the difference in this ball game here tonight. Gary Pursuti will be to the far side to receive this kick, and to the near side will be number 21, Mike Gibson, a 5'11", 190-pound senior. I don't know if that's an omen, TC. The reason I hesitated there, normally Billy Reynolds is back. So
Adrian Burt to kick off.
Adrian Burt, the running back, to kick it off for Timken. So we'll see how much of Billy Reynolds we're going to see here in the second half as Gibson has replaced him on the kick return team.
Reynolds took what looked like to be a helmet to the lower back area and may have himself a contusion of some sort. The kind of thing that the doctors will take extra care with. There's a squibber.
Off one of the up men, and a good play by number 64 for the Perry Panthers. That's Darren Rozenek, 5'8", 185 senior lineman, to simply fall on the football and to give his team good field position at the 37.
They made a nice play just to corral that thing. It was a spinner that he pinned almost to his helmet, popped in the air, and came right back in his hands. That could have been disaster.
See in the secondary for the Trojans, working at one corner, Sean Asbury, 5'10", 157 sophomore. There was Taylor, number 22. That's Reynolds in motion, so at least he's in there offensively. Got a good block. Cutting it to the outside at the 40. Reynolds 45. Reynolds midfield, brought down from behind by Suggs. But he gets into Timken territory. They'll mark it at the 47, and that'll be a gain of 16.
Reynolds showing surprising speed to the outside. He's going to take this ball all the way across the field, gets it to the outside, and just as he turns it upfield, it's one-on-one. He against Suggs, and Suggs with a good open field ankle tackle.
And with that, just over a half of play, Billy Reynolds over the 100-yard mark, 101 yards. Most impressive in only 7 carries. Pursuti this time in motion. Oh, Gary Gamble wraps up Patterson for a big loss. And I'll tell you, number 51 has been impressive defensively for Timken here tonight.
He was almost there to take the handoff.
2 yards, second down.
It's a loss of about 3.
So 2nd and 13 with the ball now at the Timken 49-yard line. Leaper, the wide receiver, near side. Pursuti on a wing, far side. Reynolds in motion. He'll get the ball from Doherty. Slipped a tackle at the line of scrimmage and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Not the smoothest of handoffs, and we have a Timken man down at the 46-yard line, and I think that's the big man.
Jay Herndon, I believe you're right, Tom. He had the initial contact on Reynolds, and he's the one that takes the brunt of the beating.
Not the prettiest of handoffs, but power football over the right side. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage before he's stacked up. They are going to tend to Herndon, big number 74, who's been really impressive tonight. The junior is 6'4", 315 pounds. Offensive tackle and a defensive tackle. And I mentioned earlier, surprising quickness for the big guy. Good feet.
Let's talk a little bit while we have the opportunity about our potential Ohio Bell CCI players of the game. Two names leap at me from the Perry side. Of course, one is Reynolds, already over the 100-yard mark with a touchdown. The other is defensively, number 65, Jim Neal. We called his name quite a bit early. He's had a solid ball game. And for Timken, the one name that I immediately think about is Gary Gamble, the 5'8", 210-pound down lineman who made an outstanding play in this series for Timken.
We have an audible from the truck.
Well, it's promo number 3. It should be Thriller Theater with the Son of Ghoul. And tomorrow night, it's going to say, of course, Saturday night at 11:30, but we have our Saturday night special football game, so he's going to follow us. What a doubleheader. Tom Cannell and then the Son of Ghoul.
Hey, he took a shot at me last week in his open.
Sherlock Holmes feature, The Woman in Green. And, of course, as always, the Son of Ghoul will be in black, and my broadcast partner with his blue 67 jacket for those of you with black and white TV. Son of Ghoul with Thriller Theater. Saturday nights normally at 11:30, but since when has the Son of Ghoul been normal? So he'll follow us on our game. And John Chase, who is the director of the Son of Ghoul show, running camera right next to us here tonight, certainly agrees with that. And tomorrow night only the Son of Ghoul will follow our coverage of the Camp McKinley Youngstown Cardinal Mooney game. And we'll hope for 10 overtimes. What did Chris McDaniel say? Did you talk at all about tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, they really think that the Cardinal Mooney is going to play a tough ball game. And you know, they remember a couple of years ago when Mooney came in, they were 4-4 and put it on the Bulldogs. So Cardinal Mooney's a quality program year in, year out, and they're expecting a nice ball game tomorrow night. So we tell the people, come down, enjoy the ball game, have some popcorn and a big orange drink, and then head home and catch it on the 2.
Chance to see it twice. Get the angles and the replays at 10:30 that you can't get here at Fawcett Stadium. But in the last 5 years, these two teams have met. Mooney has won 3 of the 5 meetings, and the final margins in all 5 games have been anywhere from 1 point, as in last year's 22-21 Mooney win, to a total of 9.
The big faux pas last year. We had some injured kickers that night, if you'll remember.
And it cost the Bulldogs dearly. Yeah, here's the quarterback, Doherty, out to Pursuti, slipped a tackle at the 40, still on his feet down to the 35, did a nice job getting away from first Dom, and then Suggs. And a first down for the Panthers, and the first completion in his first starting assignment for Doherty.
Tackle in there by Kenner.
Just a stand-up pop pass all the way across the field. Anybody questions Doherty's arm. And then a couple of nice moves by Pursuti as he maintains his balance and gets it inside the 40 to the 36.
Clock moving, 9:45 to go. Now Perry trying to make it 9 straight wins over Timken, but coming in tonight, many felt this was the Trojans' best opportunity in a number of years to put the hurt on the Panthers. So far, it's been Perry with their strong ground game.
Reynolds the ball carrier.
Reynolds again. Won't get much this time, just about a yard on the play. And Gary Gamble again among those in on the stop.
And the Trojans unpile. Just something we continue to see is this time it's big number 33 piling over right tackle, and Reynolds is stacked up after a short gain by a host of Timken tacklers.
Little or no gain.
Off the bottom of the pile, Jamie Randall, 6', 260-pound senior defensive tackle. Tucker in a wide receiver, goes wide to the far side. Pursuti on the wing, so it's Reynolds and Patterson in the backfield. Reynolds in motion. And the ball is loose. Doherty covers up. There'll be a loss of about 2 yards on the play, and the Panthers dodged a bullet there.
Doherty that time reached to give it to the big fullback Patterson, and they just didn't make connections. Heads-up play by the young sophomore to fall on the football. There you see the mix-up on the handoff, and the ball's going to just bounce away, and Doherty jumps on it and maintains possession, sets up 3rd down and 11.
Armstead and Moore covering up defensively for the Trojans. Pursuti in motion. Doherty back under all sorts of pressure, trying to set up the screen. Does so in a great open field tackle by Randall. He's been in on 2 of the last 3 stops. It was a tight end screen. Mike Rohr made the catch, but it'll be a big loss.
Tackle for a loss.
And the Panthers will be forced to punt.
That time Gamble was in his face. But a nice cool move by the quarterback who threw it over 4 defenders. Here you're going to take a look. The defenders, there's 4 of them coming through. That's what you do on a screen. You let them through. Quarterback coolly just tosses it over the top, but just the only man there for the Trojans makes the big hit.
Roar to punt. Burt set to return. And covering up on his own 14-yard line is Burt, who had a little trouble fielding that one. So the Trojans deep in their own territory. 7.5 minutes to go here, third quarter. And Timken trailing Perry 14-0.
Trojans take over 1st and 10.
Stafford Brown will be the quarterback. Brent Hogan will be the fullback. Adrian Burt the tailback. Sean Moore, number 1, will be wide receiver, along with Victor Smith, number 17, and Troy Moore, number 83, the tight end. And Tom Cannell warming up in the bullpen here.
Something needs to warm up. It's chilly.
Yes, it is. Not much. Inside linebacker Rollins, number 58 on the stop. 5'8", 173-pound junior. And this is the moment many people have been waiting for.
And this game is brought to you thanks to the support of local advertisers and under authority granted to WOAC. TV 67 by Timken High School. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of WOAC TV 67. Scott Davis and Vic Steffen, Timken High School, and the son of Ghoul is strictly prohibited.
Not necessarily in that order. Gain of 1 on that last carry. Burt got by Pursuti cutting inside. And the trip up by David Good. It looks like Mr. Mike Town just doing his magic up here.
Yes, the surgeon.
We can see again.
3rd down.
And now we can finally use the monitor in a replay. And folks at home didn't even know. Nice move by the tailback that time, and he turns it up inside. Rollins makes a good tackle.
Remember, Mike, that bell goes to the Night Court restaurant, okay?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, he'll be down twice next week, I know.
Sean Moore goes wide to the far side. Victor Smith comes split to the near side. Troy Moore, the tight end, near side, as again Timken goes to the unbalanced line far side. Running back split. He gives it to the fullback Hogan. Found a seam and has the first down as he crosses the 25-yard line. Eric Johnson on the stop.
Every now and then one of these Timken backs wants that speed and gets a chance to show it a little bit. There you take a look. Hogan, he showcases this one. He just sees a seam, and if he could keep it going, he's just about to shift gears. That's the 3rd or 4th, maybe the 5th time tonight that 1 or 2 steps away from going big time.
Check on Hogan after that last carry. 7 carries and 21 yards. Going at 3 yards per clip. Approaching the 5-minute mark, third quarter. Timken on the move. After being buried deep in their own territory. The option play. Stafford Brown keeps it 30, 35, 40, 45, midfield, 45, 40. Down to the Perry 25-yard line. Mike Rohr and Jim Fisk. Now Fisk, the nose tackle, all the way downfield. Great hustle to put the hurt on Stafford Brown. 55-yard run by the quarterback.
Well, he had everybody beaten but Rohr, who had the angle on him. This is a nice play. He looks to the tailback, freezes the corner, and now he's off to the races. He's got everybody beat here. He's going to win the race to the finish line, except for Rohr's got the angle. There you see it. And crunch. Nice tackle.
Moore with the tackle, and Fisk gets our hustle award for trying to get back downfield again. The option the other way. Watch out. Burt is brought down in the backfield. Pursuti took the ball carrier on the last play, and you saw Stafford Brown cut inside. This time he holds his ground. There's a loss.
Well, he played both plays exactly right. When you've got the pitch man, you've got to stay with him, whether he gets the ball or not. That's your man. This time he stayed with the pitch man. The pitch came, and he was up to the tackle. Fake to the fullback. Now Pursuiti's got to stay with the pitch man. Pulls him down by the shirt tail.
Very strong safety as we look at the Timken cheerleader, showing us how to play the position on the option, as Tom Cannell described it. Moore, the tight end, to the far side. That's Shante Edmondson in the slot, and Sean Moore wide to the bottom of the screen. Stafford Brown under pressure, fires the football. It's caught by Edmondson down at the 22-yard line. Devon Scott and Gary Pursuti on the stop. And it was Mike Hall with the pressure on the quarterback, Stafford Brown.
Well, they're in 4th down territory, so you got 2 shots to pick up this 7 yards.
Pick up about 5 yards.
There you see the throw.
3rd down 7.
Shante Edmondson sets up 3rd down now and about 7.
Bob Kilpatrick is in the secondary now for the Panthers, along with Devon Scott at the corners, Brock Herring free safety, Gary Pursuti strong safety, Rollins and Johnson in the inside backers, or the outside backer. Brown straight back, has time, fires a football. Sean Moore's got it. Devon Scott has it. No, they'll call it incomplete. Looked like he had that football, but hit by Scott.
Second time tonight, Moore has not hung on to an absolutely perfectly thrown football. This is such a perfectly thrown ball. He's going to dump it right over the defenders and hit him right in the hands. And the ball gets away. This quarter melting away down to 3:17 in the 3rd quarter.
So we now have Smith in the ball game, number 17.
Big 4th down play.
They need 7. They need to get it down to the Perry 16-yard line.
Nice play by the Trojans, a big-time play. They needed that one. They're only down 14-0. They can score here and make something very interesting. Going to see this area is flooded with potential receivers.
And while we were watching the replay, Burt goes in for the touchdown from 13 yards out.
Howard sweep to the right. So we saw how they set it up, and then we saw how they finished it off. And now the Trojans looking to put their PAT up. Gamble's going to kick.
Gary Campbell on to try to
and Shwanti Edmondson will be the holder. Plenty of flags,
yeah. And the kick is blocked by Leaper. Recovered by Good.
Have a flag on the play.
Let's see what the flags are all about. They're going to be against Perry. That's the early indication. Some happy campers in blue shirts. And now they're talking to the Perry captain, so no, wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. But nonetheless, the Timken Trojans are on the board at the 3:07 mark, quarter number 3, 14 for the Perry Panthers and 6 for the Timken Trojans.
Well, TV 67 is your home for entertainment and sports, and on the Hall of Fame Showcase Sunday night at 7 p.m. from 1937, Varsity Show starring Dick Powell. And then we'll join you Monday night at 8 o'clock with Black Moon Rising, 1986 version with Tommy Lee Jones. So whether you like the old movies or whether you like the new movies, TV 67 is the place to be.
You like all the movies.
Yeah, movies and sports and that new, I think, solid lineup of sitcoms.
Good stuff all the time. Good stuff. Of course, my partner comes on in the evening news.
Gibson and Pachudi back to...
Better than some.
Well, yeah, Tom Cannell. I saved him a lot of money, but it's another story. Kick is away. Short kick from the 20-yard line. 25, 30, 35, flag down, 40, 41-yard line. Returned by the senior backup halfback, Mike Gibson.
Flag sits right at the 35-yard line. You know that has to be on the return team, so that'll back Perry up back and around the 20-yard line.
Illegal block again.
We'll see if we can't find the illegal block. No, flags are already flown by then. Ground level replay give you a look at what it's like when they're in there mixing it up.
From Timken's sideline perspective, Frank Leghart doing the honors.
And we're going to march it back. Ben Zampino with the ball.
Against the Panthers.
Is it the 30?
Hello there.
At the 25.
Ball spotted back to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10.
Now, Panthers still not bad in terms of field position. And Timken cheerleaders with something to cheer about on that touchdown run of 13 yards by Adrian Burt, set up on the key 4th down passing combo of Stafford Brown to Brent Hogan.
Timken has to burn it
back with a touchdown But two things that may come back to haunt the Trojans. Number one, the missed extra point, which will force them to go for 2 if they can get the tying touchdown in there, or the potential tying touchdown in there. And number 2, having to burn this timeout. It gets late in the ball game. You'd like to have all 3 timeouts.
I can't believe Keith Wakefield has a shirt on.
Well,
with sleeves.
We kind of read Keith the riot act before the game for his own sake. He's been battling the flu bug. He taped our coach's show Monday, came down with the flu bug Tuesday, was still out here in shirt sleeves before the game. Ulick Patterson, he's done this all night long, getting big yardage on first down. That'll be about 6 or 7 yards, going off the right side of the line behind Ray Harris, the big offensive tackle.
Of course, we've seen Keith out when it's snow pellets, and he's a shirt sleeve man. Here's Patterson, second man through, gets a good block from Prizzuti into the secondary, and I'll tell you, the secondary men for Timken have had to make a lot of tackles on the big backs tonight.
I want to thank Lonnie Ford and Keith Wakefield for their cooperation getting ready for this broadcast, and more to say about that in just a moment. Doherty back, fires the football. Prizzuti is open, got by Burt, got by a second tackle down the sideline midfield. One man with the angle, and that man runs him out of bounds down at the 30-yard line. That's going to be about a 48-yard pickup, and the young man who probably saved the touchdown, Sean Asbury, number 20, the quarterback.
Much like the play when the Trojans had the big run, the only thing that saves this one is that the defender had an angle. There's a broken tackle and a missed tackle, and now you can see Asbury 20, he's got the angle on Prizzuti, and he'll finally run him down. Vic Steffen officially marks that in as a 38-yard play. Takes the ball to the 29-yard line, and the Panthers now knocking on the door.
2 minutes to go here, third quarter. Patterson again on the carry, broke a tackle, bends and gets something out of nothing.
And protecting the football.
Armstead and
Himinen, Armstead on the stop.
Pick up about 2 yards.
Look at Ulick Patterson.
He's got to be getting up there too, Scott, in total yardage.
56 yards on 10 carries. So Reynolds already over the 100-yard mark, and Patterson getting up there as well. Down inside a minute and a half to go in the quarter. With a little double handoff, Reynolds. We've seen Perry pull this, and many times it's ended up like this. A touchdown for Perry. 27 yards. A bread and butter play in the wing tee, and it works to perfection for Keith Wakefield and company.
Not an easy play to run because you have double exchange. Here you see the quarterback. He gives it one way. That man gives it the other way. And Reynolds just continues to add to his highlight film tonight as he pops it in for a touchdown. His second of the night.
Touchdown for the Panthers, and on the Ortho Clinic scoreboard, same as the scoreboard here at Fawcett Stadium. Wonders will never cease. 21-6, the Panthers lead the Trojans, and Keith Wakefield certainly has to be a lot more pleased this week than 1 week ago. And I wanted to say about Keith, came on, very first guest, very first game of the week edition of the Coach's Corner. Had to be tough for him coming off a tough loss, but my compliments to Keith and to his 2 guests, Eric Johnson and Mike Rohr, who we brought along, the 2 players, for a job well done under less than ideal circumstances.
Yeah, it was a tough one last week, and you're not feeling up with the weather, so.
Picking up Kenny Taylor, 25-30, 35-37-yard line. And running him out of bounds for the Panthers will be number 20, Gary Wursler, junior running back.
Took the Panthers about 1:40 to respond to the Timken touchdown. Now the Trojans have it back 1:14 to play in the third quarter. They're looking at that 14-point deficit all over again.
An important drive for Perry as they turn the momentum completely 180 degrees around once again. So let's see what Timken can do. Every possession now becoming important as the clock becomes more of a factor. Late third quarter. Brent Hogan,
the ball carrier.
Just can't pop that seam.
Got about 3 on the carry. Brent DeRoy and Eric Johnson combined on the stop.
Power football over the right side, or left side goes Hogan with too many white shirts. Just a different Perry team tonight than we saw last week in the game against Hoover.
A.J. Herndon, after being shaken up, remains on the Timken sideline as Bird has the ball. Strung out very well. Good, and DeRoy forced him outside where Prasudi and Johnson finished up. Derek Johnson is in there for Herndon, an offensive tackle for Timken, number 56, 230-pound sophomore.
36, Eric Johnson's the guy I think that really makes this play. Strings it out and makes that hit. Prasudi along to help out.
Shimmick closing fast from his cornerback spot. It's Shimmick in there in corner now with Kilpatrick. See Tony Carr in there at outside linebacker getting Roar rep.
Give me a fresh glass, ladies and
I'll
gentlemen.
tell you, the deepest pockets in North Canton, standing right next to me.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thanks to the Timken Booster Club. Timken going for it, 4th and 4 from their own 45. And Burt, about 2-yard shot. Perry will take over on down.
Short of the first down.
Going to put a little strain on the D now for Timken. Try to cross him up for a second back through.
First and 10, Perry.
Nice play in there by Jim Neal, again, number 65. We've popped his name in 3 or 4 times on the big plays tonight.
Panthers take over, leading the ball game 21-6. Doherty, the sophomore, a quarter away from his first win as a varsity starter.
Julian Patterson, the ball carrier.
Patterson, the ball carrier. Not much on that carry.
Tackled by Jamie Randall.
Patterson's been a workhorse here tonight.
Second down.
11 carries now and 56 yards.
According to Vic Steffen, Perry's passes have been very small, but very
effective.
Effective, yes. 3 for 4.
Reynolds in motion. Doherty back, firing the home run ball for the tight end Roar. It's up for grabs. Knocked away by Kenny Taylor. Suggs also back there.
Roar had a chance for that one, but a lot of congestion when the ball came down. Put the whammy on the poor kid, Scott.
He made a career out of it.
That's right.
Clock stops on the incompleted pass. 10:57 to go. And they're at fullback, or at halfback rather, for a moment with Mike Gibson. He now checks out. We've got Leeper, wide receiver. Eric Johnson is in there at halfback along with Bill Reynolds, and they're on the wing. Reynolds in motion. Patterson the fullback. Doherty rolls far side. Decides to run with the ball. Flag down. Could have a clip or a hold.
Shown by the referee trailing the play. It's going to be a hold.
Flag on the play.
Not too many penalties tonight overall.
No, pretty good ball game from that respect. The last week or the week before, we had laundry flying everywhere. Might have been 2 weeks ago at Hoover. Hoover Lake. There you see the rollout now. Julian Patterson says, "Come back here there, bud. You're not going to make that tackle." Protecting his quarterback.
Holding against the Panthers.
That'll march him back to where they're going to spot this ball. The 39-yard line of the Panthers.
10-yard penalty.
Check with Vic Steffen on something. I think there's only been one turnover in this game, but it was a costly one. A Timken fumble at their own 30. The Perry eventually took it and scored. That was the only turnover of the game, but it cost Timken dearly. So 3rd and 11 for the Panthers. Ball back on their own 39.
I don't want this guy counting my change. It's 3rd and 25.
Well, now they've changed it just in time, trying to set up that screen. I wondered after that big penalty, but I just read right off the scoreboard.
That was nearly intercepted. They had a Trojan in the neighborhood when that one floated down. It's number 25 for the Trojans, Burt. Take a look. Oh.
They're lucky his feet slid out from underneath him on the Fawcett turf there. So Roar to punt it away. This time Suggs is back.
Suggs has been dangerous on these special teams tonight.
Good snap. High kick, good kick. From his own 30, Suggs. 34-yard line. Good coverage by the Panthers on that play. We had Wilson downfield, Andy Wilson, along with number 51, Mike Black. Black the center, Andy Wilson back up inside linebacker and offensive guard. So still some time, 10.5 minutes to go here, but the Trojans really need to put some points on the board. They trail at 21-6. We're talking about the Coach's Corner, the local editions on Wednesday night and Thursday night, and Monday night at 10:30 on the John Cooper Show. Highlights of the Ohio State-Washington State game, plus a preview of Wisconsin. The Buckeyes meet the Badgers in 2 weeks. Tuesday night at 10:30, the George Perla Show. Look back to Notre Dame, look ahead to the Rutgers-Michigan State matchup. Hogan outside, nothing doing. And the Trojans have had trouble all night long trying to get outside. The initial contact by David Good, number 92.
Tackle by Hall.
And finishing up, Mike Hall, number 42.
Pick up about 2 yards. Second down.
Under the 10-minute mark now, 9:37 and running. Quarter number 4. The first of 8 quarters from Fawcett Stadium this weekend.
Or should I sing 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1? Now we better not. Right. Handoff. Again, the Perry defense, Adrian Burt the carry, Hall again on the stop. The Perry defense, I can't say enough about their effort here tonight.
They've just been stonewalling the offensive line for Timken. Timken, I think, has some backs that, to give him a little running room, could give you some problems, but Perry's really just shut off their entry. Hasn't been any place to go.
Both backs for Timken with over 100 yards, and Bird, I think, with back-to-back 100-yard games, but nothing doing here this evening thanks to the strong Perry defense. Third and long defense for the Panthers, which means Reynolds and Patterson are in there defensively. Brown pumps once, now fires the football, over-the-shoulder catch, and he is out of bounds. But they'll rule a catch. It is not a touchdown, but it is a big pass play nonetheless down to the Perry 26-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 26-yard line.
Catch made by Sean Moore.
First and 10, Trojans.
Moore ended up pinning that one to his body. It tried to hop away from him.
It'll be a 36-yard pickup.
Nice catch by the young man. Big play. It's a tough catch to make. It comes right over the shoulder. You'll see it jump around a little bit, and he pins it to his body. Just in time, or you got one foot. Has it up around the shoulder pads.
Shimmick on the stop. Flag on this play, so we'll see what happens. Overshooting the receiver. Headed for Burt. Pressure by Fisk and Hull. Sean Moore had a couple of potential balls dropped, so he made up for it with that nice over-the-shoulder catch, TC.
He did indeed.
Time it's going to be a penalty against Timken. Tom Cannell waving at the crowd here at Fawcett Stadium.
We'll have to call Jim Johnson a crowd by himself. Radio booth to our right.
You got to show off your tie when you go down to interview the...
Yeah, I will. I brought this tie to help Scott Davis tonight, and after I talk to Keith Wakefield, we'll make sure we get a shot of it.
8.5 minutes to go. Victor Smith, far side. Sean Moore, near side. And look at the tight end in the slot there at the top of your screen, or near the top of your screen. That's 83, Troy Moore. Single back is Hogan, and Bird is the tight end. So you've got 5 men out on the pattern, firing the ball underneath, and Bird can't hold on.
Well, they had that spread out nicely, too.
Well, they tried to hide the running back as the tight end, number 25, and good play call, but not good execution.
Look at the time the quarterback has. And he just throws a little bit low. Almost too much time at that time.
Sean Moore to the near side. That's Shante Edmondson top of the screen. Troy Moore tight end to the far side. Balance line shown by the front. And again, another flag down. Brown putting it up. And incomplete. Edmondson, the intended receiver. Now a second flag, so we have 2 flags there in 2 different areas of the field. Well, actually 3 flags now. There's another one down and around the 25. So get my
multiple choice.
No, I'll be back.
Multiple choice.
I need that laundry concession again.
I think we have a procedure penalty on the offense. And we have interference on the offense.
Offensive pass interference and illegal procedure.
I think if you get a chance to take a look at the replay, you're going to see a bunch of people move before the snap. Watch. Well, you couldn't tell, but there were at least 3 of them moving. Now let's take a look and see if we can find the interference. Oh, push-off. The old push-off trick.
Edmondson and Doherty.
Last time I saw that move, Scott Davis in the buffet line last week. Pushed 4 guys away.
Had a knife in one hand and a fork in the other.
We missed that tonight. Didn't have any grocery stop tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Lost it down.
3rd and 10.
Offensive interference against the Trojans.
Take the offensive interference call.
Oh, it's going to be 3rd and 20.
We keeping you up here? Or?
All of a sudden, John jumped right in there.
I thought we was visiting the Grand Canyon via slide. I didn't know what was going on there.
For a minute, I got caught in the Son of Gold movie.
Awesome down, 4th down.
He had some sound effects last week. I watched this pretty good. I kind of enjoyed it. I hate to say that.
Dude, salute you in the beginning. Huh?
Yeah, he said we don't have to put up with that guy tonight.
4th and long, and I do mean long. Stafford Brown puts it up, intended for the tight end, Troy Moore, batted away by Brock Herring. Kilpatrick also back there. Good coverage by Perry. And again on down, the Perry defense rises to the occasion. With 8 minutes, 15 seconds, they take over. In control now of this ball game, leading 21-6.
Don't forget, we have a ladies' wristwatch. It was found. It'll be at the
Here he goes.
Booth.
The old Hail Mary special. Loads it up and lets her rip about 40 yards in the air. It's a jump ball. And it comes down, and Kilpatrick a little unhappy he didn't catch it, but it would have cost himself 35 yards of field position because that was 4th down.
Bob Kilpatrick, formerly the starting quarterback, seeing lots of duty tonight in the defensive secondary. So we have a couple of moves made by Keith Wakefield paying off here tonight. Doherty running the show here. Patterson broke a tackle line of scrimmage, broke 2 tackles, gets about 5 yards on the play.
Trojans without their big defensive tackle, A.J. Herndon. He was hurt earlier. I see him standing along the sidelines.
Pick up about 5 yards, 2nd down.
Not getting any action at the moment, but that was a good solid 4 to 5 yard pop, and that's what Patterson's been averaging tonight, right around that 5 yard mark.
Overall, 61 yards on 12 carries, according to Vic Steffen. Doherty, open is Reynolds, and he can't hold on to it.
Well, he's human. Reynolds having a, as I called it earlier, a highlight film night. Just couldn't find that one. It was thrown right at him. Doherty rolls out and just pinpoints this one. And I think Reynolds could feel he had some room and just turned the head before the old ball got in there.
Hooker out, Leaper in with the play from the Perry sideline. 3rd and 6. The ball on Perry's own 46-yard line. 7.5 minutes remain to be played. Perry leads it 21-6. Doherty with time, fires the ball. It's tipped around and incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Waiting to see whether the Timken player came down with it while it was in the air.
They want the call, but referee right on top of it.
Was intended for Lever.
Sets up 4th down now, and Perry will have to give it up. This was an errant throw, one of the few Doherty has had. It was overthrown and bounces high off the shoulder pads. And looks like a fight on the way between, let's see, is that 54, the center?
Well, Leaper, the intended receiver, was Asbury. They got his hands on it first for Timken, and then it was Samar Sparkman that almost came away with it. Now the punt. Suggs, ball is loose on the turf. Big pileup, and the Trojans have it.
Maurice Suggs recovered the ball.
7:21 to go. This is going to have to be the drive.
Timken needs 2 touchdowns to try to get back into this game. Here comes Stafford Brown and Sean Moore to the huddle after words of wisdom from Lonnie Ford. It'll be Victor Smith, number 17, and number 1, Sean Moore, the wide receiver. Stafford Brown, the quarterback. Hogan and Bird have gone all the way in the backfield. Both receivers go far side. Troy Moore, the tight end, near side. Shimmick and Kilpatrick, the cornerback. And a flag before we even get going. The way Timken's responding, looks like it's against them.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure against the Trojans.
Timken shooting themselves in the foot a little more often here in the second half.
Illegal procedure, 5-yard penalty.
Trojan faithful.
Moore and Victor Smith far side. First and 15. Stafford Brown run all the way, nothing doing. David Good, number 76, is in their defensive.
Stafford Brown, the ball carrier, tackled by Johnson.
Tell you what, partner, I want to find my way down to the field, and I'll finish the game with you from down there.
All right, sounds good. Look again here, and watch Eric Johnson. I said Good 76. It was Johnson 36. His inside linebacker spot. Making a nice play defensively. Clock rolls. 6 minutes remain to be played here. This is a 2nd down and 17 call. There was a loss of 2 on that play. Brown is back. Good with some pressure. Firing the ball is Brown. Down there, the tight end over his head. The ball is intercepted by Herring. Brock Herring, number 9.
Brown pass intercepted.
So our first interception of the ball game belongs to the Perry Panthers. Brock Herring, older brother Archie, certainly making an impact in training camp with the Cleveland Browns. Initially on the developmental squad, and now currently serving as a volunteer assistant coach here with the Perry Panthers. So Brock Herring playing center field, as you'll watch here. Stafford Brown, this ball will be overthrown by a couple of yards, intended for Troy Moore, the tight end. Ball tipped, actually, by John Shimmick, and Herring comes up with the INT. This is Gary Pursuti. Line of block by Andy Wilson, who's in there at guard now for the Panthers. And Pursuti will pick up 8 yards. And for Gary Pursuti, he's made most of his limited opportunities to run with the football. 3 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. Recheck the Perry offensive front. Looks like they have a couple of changes in there now. Some fresh legs. Straight ahead, the fullback Patterson. And I'm going to guess he's going to be just shy of the first down. Change up front. John Kinsey, number 70, is in the ball game, replacing number 69, Mark Wise. So it's going to be 70 Kinsey and Ray Harris, Andy Wilson. Black is still the center. Looks like Tony Carr rounding out the front 5 for the Panthers. Gary Pursuti, first down and then some. Gary Pursuti almost broken inside the 40-yard line. Good, hard running. The Panthers now working the clock. Strong ground game performance tonight by Perry. Strong defensive showing, and it adds up to a 21-6 Perry lead. Andy Wilson out in front blocking. Broke the tackle of the cornerback, Sean Asbury. Reynolds Pursuti. This play worked for a touchdown last time they tried it. It gets a first down here, and again Pursuti, again just one step away from breaking it for 6.
Tackled by Sean Asbury.
That inside reverse off the wing T formation. Watch it again. This time Reynolds to Pursuti have worked the other way around for a touchdown. Pursuti suddenly jumps up 44 yards on 5 carries. Under 4 minutes left to be played, and Perry driving for their 4th touchdown of the game. Gary Gamble, who's played outstanding football defensively, and I think Gary hurting a little bit. He's out of the lineup for the Timken Trojans. Doherty back, fires. This is Leaper, and knocked away at the last moment.
Pass incomplete.
Suggs and Ken Taylor, number 22 on the coverage. I think it was Taylor that knocked the ball away.
Coverage, Maurice Suggs and Ken Taylor.
Good passer by Doherty, laid it up well. No, actually it was Suggs that kind of tipped it away with his hand as Taylor brought down the receiver. So good team effort in the secondary for the Timken Trojans. 2nd down and 10. Now Cannell's down on the sidelines, and we'll get his perspective here in just a few minutes. He is Mike's side.
Reynolds the ball carrier.
Nothing doing for Reynolds this time as we look at it from about the perspective of TC. Troy Moore on the stop TC as you join us on the field.
Loss of pick up about a half yard. 3rd down.
Bring up 3rd down here. That's our audio man extraordinaire, Jim Baltese, and we can power up Mr. Cannell's mic on the field. I think, TC, you are now with us.
I heard the magic in my earpiece. You're right. It's nippy down here, I want to tell you, partner. It's a chilly night down here. Uh-oh, trouble.
Doherty did a Houdini act. Look at down in the end zone. Touchdown to Reynolds. Oh, but you got to give Doherty a lot of the credit on that play.
He was in big trouble and just spotted a man and let her rip.
2nd touchdown pass of the year for Doherty, and Reynolds' 3rd touchdown of the game.
And speaking of that, I think we can put the envelope, please, on Mr. Reynolds tonight, don't you?
No question about it.
He'll be our player of the game from the Perry side.
Andy Bolam can go 4 for 4 on extra points out of the hold of
Bolam to try the extra point.
Patrick. Line drive kick, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 42 seconds remaining, the Perry Panthers well on their way to their 3rd win of the season. They lead it here 28-6. And a good time, TC, and we have talked about, as you look at the Ortho Clinic scoreboard, to announce our selections of the CCI Ohio Bell-centric players of the game. This week's award winners are, no big surprise, Bill Reynolds of the Perry Panthers, and as I look over Vic Steffen's shoulders, a 26-yard TD catch that you just saw, and running the football, 13 carries, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And from the Timken Trojans, our congratulations to two-way starter on the offensive and defensive line, Gary Gamble, number 51. So in their honor, CCI Ohio Bell Centrics is proud to donate $100 to each school for the players' outstanding athletic achievement. Watch again next week. Or in fact, this week, tomorrow night, for the High School Achievement Award, sponsored by CCI Ohio Bell Centrics, your telecommunications teammates, recognizing great team effort. Suggs from his own 6-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30, still on his feet, 35-yard line. Let's see where they're going to mark it out at the 36. And
36-yard line.
Well, he's been exciting, TC, on the special team.
Well, he's had a few opportunities to run with that pigskin on kickoff returns tonight. I think he's done a nice job on every one of them. That time was a little late getting started because the ball bounced up to him amongst a bunch of people. Kind of an angle kick by Perry. They had him pinned in the corner, which is what they wanted to do, but he gave a little juke move, and all of a sudden he had a little running room.
Armstead and Hogan with good blocks. We've got Sean Moore and Victor Smith, wide receivers. Good look at the quarterback, Stafford Brown, from ground level. Now back up top as Brown goes back. Fires the football. Moore has it. 1st down. Outside linebacker Tony Carr dropping off into pass coverage. We're just past the 2:30 mark remaining to be played. Smith out, Edmondson in with the play from the Timken sideline.
Good for a Timken first down.
So as we watch the replay here, looks like the Perry Panthers will down the Timken Trojans.
3-1.
Will be the 9th straight win in this series for Perry, but Timken putting on a pretty good show tonight. And looking for more. Stafford Brown hit as he threw, and that's why the ball almost ends up in the first row.
Brown's pass incomplete.
Brown was leveled by Jim Fisk. Done a nice job getting into the backfield. Now, Jim's not a big man at 5'6", 162, playing that nose guard, but very, very quick, and he's been playing havoc here tonight. Perry Band entertaining us to the far side. 2:08 left to be played. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. The ball on their own 48-yard line. They trail this game 28-6. Brown in all sorts of trouble, and down he goes.
Now it's back in the backfield.
Jim Fisk, who we just talked about, this time gets the QB sack. Well, Tom, there's something about Bill Reynolds at TV 67. Last year, as a sophomore, we gave him the player of the game honor as he scored both touchdowns in Perry's overtime win at North Canton. And this year on the tube, a big game here tonight at Fawcett Stadium.
He's been really solid. The 1-2 punch of Reynolds and Patterson has just been really just too much tonight for the Timken defense to hold. Throwing a nice job by the sophomore quarterback, Doherty, on his first start, and a pretty good offensive effort, almost a complete turnaround on offensive effort that we saw a week ago.
The defense has been rather consistent all season long. That screen pass to Bird incomplete. 1:22 left to be played, and Trojans will be forced to punt it away here. We watch the replay. We look ahead. Let's see, Perry, next week they'll host Alliance. In 2 weeks they'll travel to Jackson. And in 3 weeks they'll host New Philadelphia. And that's the next look at Perry on TV 67 in 3 weeks against Philly. Timken will be at Jackson next week. Then they play Glen Oak. Then they travel to Lake. So, Tom, this is really the meat of their schedule after going 2 out of 3 out of the gate. Perry, Jackson, Glen Oak, and Lake. The meat of the schedule coming up for the Timken Trojans.
Yeah, and, you know, Lonnie wanted to find out what kind of a team he had. He thought tonight would be a pretty good measuring stick, and has to be a little bit disappointed because they just never really got their offense on track.
Now, their ground game just not effective here tonight. You've got to give credit to the Perry defense. They had well over 200 yards rushing last week, and as I do a quick check of their ground game this week, they're at about 115 yards total.
Timken needing a timeout there to get their punt team squared away. 1:22 remaining. This one solidly in the Perry win column. And Perry looking to bounce back after that effort last week. They're 3-1, and they're sitting pretty good shape. They've got a couple of big ball games. That game with Jackson a couple of weeks out of your war.
Suggs will be picking this one away from about his own 30. Pursuti standing at his own 27-yard line. The Timken cheerleaders not giving up the enthusiasm. They know there's still 6 more weeks to go in this season. Perry will take over 2nd place in the Federal League with this win here tonight at 2-1 in league play. And Perry will have it at their own 35-yard line with 1:11 to go. Stay tuned following the game, and Tom will try to get some comments from Keith Wakefield. Hopefully Keith feeling better after battling the flu bug all week long. Certainly has to feel better about his team's overall performance tonight, as he got, again, a good defensive effort for the 4th week in a row, and this time the offense probably playing its best ball of the season. Even though they scored something like 76 points in their first 2 games. I know Keith wasn't happy overall because there were a lot of turnovers. New man in there offensively out of the backfield. We've seen him on and off again tonight, Mike Gibson.
Shimmick at quarterback in this series. So some of the second liners getting an opportunity here on offense.
gives me the indication, TC, that for Bob Kilpatrick, who was the starter through the first few weeks of the season, they're going to ask him now to concentrate in the defensive secondary.
And he'll do a nice job for him over there, I'm sure.
Chimick, the number 2 quarterback a year ago. Inside to Keefe, the fullback, breaking tackles. Finally, Burt corrals him. That'll be a gain of close to 20. First look at Chuck Keefe, 5'9", 215 junior. Did a nice job earlier. 2-yard touchdown run, Bill Reynolds, 7-0 Panthers. Second quarter, 4:41 remaining after a Timken fumble. Perry takes it in from 30 yards out. The capper, 1-yard touchdown run, Gary Pursuti. Extra point by Bolam, 14-0 Perry at halftime. Third quarter, 3:07 remaining. Timken on the board, a 13-yard touchdown run by Adrian Burt. The extra point blocked, 13-6 Perry. 1:19 to go third quarter, 27-yard touchdown run by Bill Reynolds. The extra point good, 21-6 the Panthers. And with 2:42 remaining, a 26-yard touchdown pass by sophomore Scott Doherty to Bill Reynolds. Reynolds' third touchdown of the night. And the final score, the Perry Panthers 28 and the Timken Trojans 6. Now let's go down to the field as Tom Cannell greets Keith Wakefield.
And I do have Keith Wakefield, and I've got to feel more satisfied tonight. The defense has been there all year long. Tonight, the offense did a 180.
Yeah, we're really pleased. Our kids had a great week of practice, and, you know, that old adage of fighting back from some adversity, and we played very poorly last Friday night, and our kids met the challenge, and I hope we're on the right track. I think we're back to where we want to be at this point.
I know you don't like to pull kids out and for special praise and everything like that, but there seemed to be a couple of guys tonight that really played good ball games. Your 2 big backs and the young quarterback making his first start.
Yeah, I thought Scott Doherty did a nice job handling the ball, and we didn't throw it a lot, and that was intentional because of his first game. But when he threw it effectively, and Billy Reynolds and Ulick Patterson and Gary Pursuti all ran the ball extremely well, and you know, and to do that, your kids up front got to block well. So I was really proud of our offense.
And on your defensive side of the ball, of course, this Trojan team has some breakaway backs, but you never gave them that extra step tonight.
No, I think our kids were over pretty good, and we might have missed a few tackles on a couple long ones, but I think our defense has primarily played that way all year. We're real proud of them.
Well, I know you're happy to go into the next week now. You feel like you're, I'm sure, back in the hunt. Long way to go in the season, and 3-1, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, the Federal League's is that kind of league. You better be ready to play every week, and we know that. We just weren't ready last Friday. I think we'll be ready from now on.
Well, those games happen, and not every game's a Rembrandt, but you had a good painting tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks a lot.
Very good. Keith Wakefield down on the field. He's happy. I want to show this the tie to Scott Davis. I used this tonight, so when Scott got confused, he could really help himself out. So there's a spotter's tie for Scott Davis.
And I see a few spots of food on there. Now I think about talking about the groceries. Well, nice job as always by my broadcast partner TC. And let me just check out Vic Steffen's stats real quick because we got to get out of here. A lot of things going on. First downs, Perry leads 17-13. Yards rushing 263 for Perry. Combine that with the passing, 339 total. They held Timken to under 200 yards total offense. 2 turnovers by Timken, one very costly. It cost them 7 points. And time of possession, fairly close as you look at it. Perry almost 26 minutes and Timken a little over 22. So look at the final numbers. It was the Perry ground game. It was the Perry defense. And turnovers, I don't know. Was it really a factor? It did cost Timken 7 points. But just overall impressive performance by the Panthers. As TC mentioned, they are back on track. And it all adds up to a 28-6 Perry win. Well, tomorrow night at 10:30, we'll be right back here at Fawcett Stadium. Canton McKinley, Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, looking forward to that one. 1 week from tonight, our Federal League coverage continues from Hartville. The Lake Blue Streaks going in tonight as one of the 2 only undefeated teams left in the Federal League, hosting the Worcester Generals. As we look at the Timken cheerleaders, it's time to say goodbye from here at Fawcett Stadium, where the final score 28-6. The Perry Panthers improve to 3-1 on the season. This TV 67 special sports presentation has been brought to you in part by Bank One of the strongest and most innovative banks in America, with local people making local decisions. CCI, Ohio Bell Centrics, your telecommunications teammate. George Wakeham Ford. George Wakeham really is your friend at the factory. Lennox, Rex Reliable. It must be a Lennox. Toyota and your Toyota dealers. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Apple Supermarket. We've got what you want. Valley Systems and Hydro Laser Technologies, working today for a better tomorrow. Spitzer Chevy in North Canton. It's easy to get what you're looking for at your Spitzer Chevy store. And Holland Pontiac, the only Pontiac dealer receiving the 5-star Superior Service Excellence Award 6 years in a row. At Holland Pontiac, there really is a difference. Another great team effort by TV67 and the folks of Image Video. Tonight's producer, Mark Anderson, with an assist to Double R, Randy Ramsey. Yours truly, Scott Davis, and my broadcast partner, Tom Cannell, with our statistician, Vic Steffen. The people making tonight's broadcast possible, Steve Yoder, a fine job directing. A great camera work by Frank, Don, and John, the dynamic trio. And what can you say about JB, Cherie, and Mike Simon? Stay warm in the truck tonight. And Mike Conges with an assist on our monitor. And all the names of the folks making this game possible. We'll be back with you less than 24 hours from now. Same place, Fawcett Stadium. Somebody just leave me a wake-up call. Good game tonight. Perry wins at 28-6. Tomorrow night, McKinley and Mooney. Until then, have a good night, everybody.